Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as you can see, I'm doing things differently again. And the reason being, I feel like I've been driving towards this. This is what feels like it's the right one. I feel like I've stumbled on the right weekly formula. So with that said, as you see, every month when I do your monthly reading, I also give you a breakdown of each week ahead. And it makes more sense, it feels more cohesive to use the card that you get for the week that you're in. So for the second week of February in your monthly reading, this was the card that you had, the Moon card. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path, or should I say us, to our highest vibrational good. So, this week we got the Moon card, right? And the Moon card is very much a cyclic card. It very much brings things to culmination and completion. No coincidence that we're just off the back of on the 10th of February, we'll be just off the back of a full moon in Leo, which is really interesting because it's going to be highlighting something in our lives. The Moon card very often does that. And whenever the Moon card shows up, this is where the rose-tinted glasses come off. This is where we get to see behind the scenes. This is where we get to see something exactly as it is. Now, some people might argue that because the Moon card can represent confusion. Sometimes it can represent fear. But remember, the moon doesn't necessarily have its own light. It reflects things. And so sometimes, especially with the Moon card, because it can represent the past as well, sometimes you look at the past in all of its visions, and sometimes when you're looking at the past and the rose-tinted glasses come off, you see things exactly as they were, as opposed to how you would like them to be or how you remembered them up until this point. The feeling that I get from the Moon card this week is there's going to be some big clarification that really makes sense this week, and it's just going to set everything, it's going to kind of set a tone of realization this week. And ultimately, one thing that you can say about Aquarius energy, we love realization, because it's that moment when the penny drops or something finally occurs to us. So this week, for our actions and our path ahead, we have the Seven of Swords, right? So your actions and your path ahead, this is what you do. Seven of Swords is about lies, it's about deceit. This is about you uncovering some sort of secret. Maybe it is in relation to this, because the Seven of Swords and the Moon card as well, this could be catching somebody in the act of doing something that is either completely disingenuous or actually quite hazardous for their own health. So this week it looks like you're calling something as you see it. You might discover a secret, you might discover somebody in a lie, and this week, because it comes through the guise of the Seven of Swords, this could be you really looking at your whole lifescape and saying, you know what, I can't believe I fooled myself into believing what I believe for this amount of time. This week you're uncovering some sort of subconscious fear or blockage that has held you back by keeping you it's almost like the big realization this week is going to be that you played a part in something that you believe, that now you no longer believe it, you see it for exactly what it is. This could be you really destroying some sort of self-illusory tendency, which is actually a good thing. You know, this is probably one of the only places that you could get this card, especially in relation to the moon, and have it be sort of like a good card, so to speak. Interestingly enough, the fact that it is the Seven of Swords, the full moon in Leo took place in your 7th house, especially if you're an ascendant Aquarius, and your 7th house is all to do with partnerships, collaborations, other people. So it could be that it's coming from that sector in your life, but we shall see. Communications and conversations, we have the King of Cups. Now, this is interesting to me because your King of Cups, usually a water sign male or a water sign person. This could be a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. And usually your King of Cups is somebody that has a real good handle on their emotions. They're very jovial, very warm. I mean, look at the opulence in that card, right? And he's very much about the good time in this deck, especially. You know, he's all about feeling good and making sure that he steers his emotions towards things that are actually important to him. This is coming up in your conversations, and as an experience of conversation, this is going to be a week where you might find that somebody tries to gloss over something that they've done, something that they've said, something that they've tried to bury, or something that they've tried to hide. Now, we do have a Mercury retrograde on the 16th of February. Mercury will station to go retrograde as of the 17th of February. If you haven't got your retrograde survival kit, it's £10 off. You can get it in the link in the description box below. And the fact that you have this King of Cups here being infused with this Seven of Swords energy, it really does feel for me like somebody is going to try and gloss over something that they've done. You might catch them in the act and they'll still try to explain it away. There is no explaining it. And no matter how much it hurts or no matter what seems to come up, this week you are going to be faced with something, Aquarius, that you really need to deal with as and when you see it, and exactly as it is, not as you would like it to be. Interestingly enough, King of Cups, I said, can represent a water sign person. Your moon card is ruled by Pisces. So you put those two together, this person is very likely to be a Piscean or have Pisces energy. Now, the reason I talked about the Mercury retrograde is because this is your communications and conversations, and Mercury is going retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is all to do with your second house, which is a brilliant segue into the next sector because it's all about your money. The second house for Aquarius is Pisces, which is all about your money, your self-worth, your self-esteem, your own finances, how you make your money, where you gather your resources from, and ultimately how you view yourself in relation to self-worth and self-esteem. And when we talk about self-esteem, it's not just about, oh yay, look at me, I look good and I feel good. It's about knowing that you deserve to be treated at the very least as an equal, right? For your money and materials, finally, we have some good news in this sector. You've got the Nine of Cups. Whatever you have worried may not be replenished when it comes to finances, when it comes to resources, when it comes to money. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, but it's also, it actually offers a very healing vibe, a very healing energy. So whenever you see the Nine of Cups, yes, it's that wish fulfilled, or yes, it's that happy moment, or that yes answer, but it does suggest that not only will finances be good this week, but there's this feeling, what I keep hearing is replenish, replenish, replenish. If you've seen your savings or your money kind of go down and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really worried about this, like, you know, what am I going to do? This Nine of Cups is basically saying whatever you've poured out of your cup's now going to be refilled, right? This is a gorgeous energy for money and materials. The fact that it comes off the back of the King of Cups as well, when it comes to your personal home where you live, or the dwelling that you own or live in, it suggests that you're going to be feeling really safe and secure in that place. And really, that's going to provide you this almost like a safe arena to really get your internal juices and mojo flowing and going. Really, really nice card for money and materials. For the love and relations, for all Aquarians across the board, your love life is getting a jump start. Your love life is getting a revamp. It's getting a redo, or even like just a re-energizing. And interestingly enough, I feel like this is because of this whole Mercury retrograde energy, because it's in your second house. This is really you addressing what you're worth, what you believe you're worth, and ultimately where the idea of that comes from, whether it's positive or beneficial, whether it's challenging, whether it's hard, whether it's negative, whatever. This is about you really getting to understand what you actually think about yourself at a deep level. For those of you that are single, it looks like there is somebody new coming in, somebody really exciting, vibrant, dynamic. So, and when I say vibrant and dynamic, even though they come as a kind of part of the King of Cups, remember the big thing about this is Your Fool card tends to bring people out of the blue. This is somebody that you don't know yet. So for those of you that are single, this is somebody that you're going to meet. It may be somebody that you meet in the course of doing your daily business, your daily work, but it could just as easily be somebody that you meet in your everyday activities, or possibly some sort of hobby or pastime that you do for enjoyment. But there's definitely somebody new coming in, and whoever this person is, they are really, really exciting. Now, we do have a Mercury retrograde, so just consider that you might not be getting the full picture or the story about who this person actually is, or you know what's going on with them, but just be mindful of it, but still take the chance to do the exploration. For those of you that are partnered, married, you know, long-term relationship, all of that sort of stuff, this really is the jump start. Right opposite the Nine of Cups as well, there could be maybe not necessarily the mending of a rift, because I'm not feeling a rift this week. What I am feeling is, if the love life's been a bit dead, if the sex life's been a bit slow, this week you could really get that mojo back. It's kind of like you're in that place, and because you're delving into this whole aspect of really getting to feel yourself again, feeling your O's, right, you could then be like, right, okay, you know what, yeah, we need to put more time into this. On a personal or a familial level, this does look like some sort of family drama is about to be healed, and possibly has a chance to happen quite suddenly. This is something that because it is the Fool card, and the Fool has a very Aquarian energy about it, this could be something that you're in the lead of. It may be something that, you know, you've decided to stay out of, and then all of a sudden you say to yourself, actually, you know what, somebody needs to take the lead here. Whatever's happening, this Moon card is ensuring that the lids are coming off. Whatever secrets or things have been hiding in the shadows and all the rest of it, this week they will be revealed for what, who, and where they come from. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.